breathlessly, like a boy, up to the steps of his home. After the rapture of meeting, and after that odd feeling of unsatisfied expectation, the feeling that everything is just the same, so why did I hurry? Nicholas began to settle down in his old home world. His father and mother were much the same, only a little older. What was new in them was a certain uneasiness and occasional discord which there used not to be, and which, as Nicholas soon found out, was due to the bad state of their affairs. Sónya was nearly 20. She had stopped growing prettier and promised nothing more than she was already, but that was enough. She exhaled happiness and love from the time Nicholas returned, and the faithful, unalterable love of this girl had a gladdening effect on him. Pétya and Natásha surprised Nicholas most. Pétya was a big, handsome boy of 13, merry, witty, and mischievous, with a voice that was already breaking. As for Natásha, for a long while Nicholas wondered and laughed whenever he looked at her. "You are not the same at all," he said. "How? Am I uglier?" "On the contrary, but what dignity! A princess!" he whispered to her. "Yes, yes, yes!" cried Natásha joyfully. She told him about her romance with Prince Andrew and of his visit to Otrádnoe, and showed him his last letter. "Well, are you glad?" Natásha asked. "I am so tranquil and happy now." "Very glad," answered Nicholas. "He's an excellent fellow. And are you very much in love?" "How shall I put it?" replied Natásha. "I was in love with Borís, with my teacher, and with Denísov, but this is quite different. I feel at peace and settled. I know that no better man than he exists, and I am calm and contented now, not at all as before." Nicholas expressed his disapproval of the postponement of the marriage for a year, but Natásha attacked her brother with exasperation, proving to him that it could not be otherwise, and that it would be a bad thing to enter a family against the father's will, and that she herself wished it so. "You don't at all understand," she said. Nicholas was silent and agreed with her. Her brother often wondered as he looked at her. She did not seem at all like a girl in love and parted from her affianced husband. She was even-tempered and calm and quite as cheerful as of old. This amazed Nicholas and even made him regard Bolkónski's courtship skeptically. He could not believe that her fate was sealed, especially as he had not seen her with Prince Andrew. It always seemed to him that there was something not quite right about this intended marriage. Why this delay? Why no betrothal? He thought. Once, when he had touched on this topic with his mother, he discovered, to his surprise and somewhat to his satisfaction, that in the depths of her soul she too had doubts about this marriage. "You see, he writes," said she, showing her son a letter of Prince Andrew's, with that latent grudge a mother always has in regard to a daughter's future married happiness. "He writes that he won't come before December. What can be keeping him? Illness, probably. His health is very delicate. Don't tell Natásha. And don't attach importance to her being so bright. That is because she is living through the last days of her girlhood. But I know what she is like every time we receive a letter from him." However, God grant that everything turns out well." She always ended with these words. "He is an excellent man." End of chapter 1. Recording by Eva Harnick, Ponte Vedra, Florida.